In March 2020, Bitcoin dropped to about $4,200. It has since then picked up, and at the time of recording is at 31,875. That's over 7 times increase. Meanwhile, this little known altcoin project dropped to about 2.5 cents in the middle of March 2020 and is currently at 35 cents, a 14-fold increase from its low of 2020. So if you were to put $1,000 in Bitcoin in March 2020 at its low, it would be worth over $7,000 now. $1,000 into this particular project would be worth over $14,000 now. And the great thing about this project is that the mainnet is about to launch soon, and nobody knows about this project yet. So Bitcoin's in the throes of a bull run, which is going to last maybe at least a year or so. And everybody's waiting for, when is altcoin season going to come? When is altcoin season going to come? And the trick with altcoin season, or how to make money with the alt, is to find a good quality project. Now, in my opinion, not investment advice, the one I'm going to be talking about, I've been talking about this for a while now, is a great quality project with potentially really great returns. It's already repaid early investors many times over, and there's more to come. Please like, subscribe, click the notification bell, upvote, and comment. And as a comment, you could give me the ticker symbol for the cryptocurrency that I'm going to be talking about in this video, or any cryptocurrency. Just send me ticker symbols. All of that makes a difference. If you're watching this on YouTube, come over to BitTube, where I usually post my videos first, and you can earn 2 coins and support the cause of censorship resistance, because I am being shadow banned on YouTube. You can also find me on Bitchute and on library.tv and also on odyssey.com. Those platforms also allow you to earn cryptocurrency and reward me in cryptocurrency should you wish to do so. Join my official Telegram announcements channel, and please do follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT. If you want to know which cryptocurrencies or altcoins to invest in for long-term, medium-term, or short-term, or to trade in, then take a look at Tokenmetrics. Tokenmetrics uses artificial intelligence-based crypto indices, rankings, and price predictions to give you the best possible altcoins and cryptocurrencies to hodl or trade with. Link in the description below. Now, the project in question is veruscoin. It launched in May 2018. I've been covering it since June 2018. You can find my veruscoin videos through by the playlist on this channel. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is going through the technical philosophy of veruscoin. Now, I'm indebted to CryptoFin for this article that this video is based on. CryptoFin, like myself, is one of the people who are part of the veruscoin community. So veruscoin didn't have an ICO or any sort of fundraise. It was a fair launch, no pre-mine, no dev fund, no team fund, nothing like that. They released the algorithm and people started mining and staking it. I've been mining and staking it on my CPU. It is mineable and stakeable on a CPU as efficiently as a GPU and FPGA, and it's ASIC resistant. And what that means is it's just way, way more decentralized, because anybody, you got an old spare laptop, you can buy some Verus coins and start staking it and earning Verus rewards. Now, what does Verus do? Well, Verus is a platform protocol like Ethereum, like Polkadot, like EOS, but in my opinion, so much smarter with a greater degree of functionality than any of those. So Verus's protocol is robust, secure, and scalable. And its philosophy is that the decentralized internet will not emerge as a system of applications all programmed on a single global computer, but that it will consist of heterogeneous systems exchanging data that they can all understand, some centralized, some decentralized. Functionality will be triggered from one system to another, and secure systems will include their most important functions at the protocol level. So veruscoin is built upon the notion that blockchain is going to be incredibly diverse and heterogeneous, and then it needs to be able to communicate and interact and engage with lots and lots of different applications and systems. So one of the keys for veruscoin is simple, decentralized, secure interoperability. This sentence is, I think, particularly important. Secure systems will include their most important functions at the protocol level. So what I understand from that is, instead of them being add-ons, they're integral to the foundation layer of the blockchain. Bell's law states that roughly every decade, a new lower-priced computer class forms based on a new programming platform network and interface, resulting in new usage and the establishment of a new industry. So let me give you some examples of Bell's law. Computing. So you go from the old computing languages, whatever they were in the very, very beginning, I don't know, right, with great big mainframe computers that use transistors, and then you end up with the sort of languages that I remember learning at school in the early 80s, basic programming. I had a ZX81 computer, and I used to tape it up with a cassette tape to get it running. And then we get great big BBC desktops that are really slow, so much so that my smartphone actually now has more computing power than the first desktop we ever had in our home. And along the way, what we're getting are a whole new suite of applications that outdo everything that has gone before. Now, the shift happens slowly at first, or almost imperceptibly, but then it takes it all over. If you look at how mobile phones got adopted in the beginning, where it was just basically just a telephone that you carried around, to now what we have is a computing device, a portable computing device, that pretty much modern life is just really, really difficult to conduct without this portable computing device. Now, while this has given us great leaps forward in terms of what we can do and tools and applications that we can use, it's also brought giant internet monopolies that routinely abuse their power and stifle freedom, innovation, and wealth creation. This paradigm is noted for constant security breaches and a perceived impossibility to protect even our most important systems from intrusion. Privacy is a non-feature and is abused at will. The individual has been atomized and vassalized, forced to pledge fealty to walled garden network kings in order to earn a living, to learn, or to engage in social or cultural life. So, if I'm using Android applications, I'm stuck inside Android applications. If I'm using iOS applications, I'm pretty much stuck in that. Same goes for Linux or Windows. And the same could be applied for cryptocurrencies. So if I'm on Ethereum blockchain, then pretty much I've got to stay on the Ethereum blockchain for all those applications. There isn't a lot of interoperability between blockchains. Now, what we would want in a new Bell's law shift would be reduced complexity, so things get simpler, security and privacy as initial and persisting states of the system, not after the fact add-ons. So, for example, with this computer, in order to secure my privacy and security, I will add on a VPN, which I have done. But that's not the same as having the sort of privacy and security that's inbuilt into the system from the start. And then 3, self-sovereignty and personal control everywhere, such that it's my data, I own it, don't go using it and selling it to other agents and making money off my data. Unreliable, restricted, extractive, centralized services could be replaced by distributed systems that are open and equitable, running on reliable public infrastructure. Verus is an ambitious project that seeks to provide a foundation for this new programming platform, network, and interface, resulting in new usage and establishment of a new industry. Now, in reading this sentence, I'm reminded of Satoshi Nakamoto's vision that Bitcoin was a whole new paradigm for value exchange, a whole new paradigm for money, decentralized and deflationary. And in the same way, Verus is positioning itself as a new paradigm for cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Verus seeks to be a foundational part of the current Bell's law shift, believing that the decentralized and distributed networks pioneered by Bitcoin have marked the beginning of this shift. The Verus developers bring specific experience in application platform creation and seek to enlarge on this by enabling the global scale distributed and decentralized systems that mark the new era. Now, CryptoFin goes on to say that public key cryptographic algorithms are now being used all over the place for data storage, communications, and computing systems, but they don't have security and privacy built in. What we have is a patchwork arrangement where privacy and security get added later on. What has been emerging, including with Bitcoin, are systems where security through asymmetric cryptography is the foundational state. So Bitcoin doesn't rely on trust, the way that currency does, that trust in the government, that they won't print the currency out of existence, that they will honor the promise to pay, that the currency will retain its value and utility as a means of exchange. Just trust. Bitcoin doesn't rely on trust. It relies on cryptographic proof. It is trustless, and that places cryptographic security at its heart. And this has meant that it's been able to operate openly and successfully and continuously since its inception with elegant simplicity and effectively zero security incidents at the protocol level, all the while protecting value now measured in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And think about it, right? The value of Bitcoin is still small, although the market cap, I think, of Bitcoin now exceeds the market cap of Berkshire Hathaway. But Berkshire Hathaway operates inside this highly regulated, policed system. Not so Bitcoin. Bitcoin operates itself inside a decentralized, unregulated environment, and it's doing so without any compromises to its own security. Now, of course, there have been hacks, but not of the Bitcoin protocol. There have been forks, there have been bugs that have been found, there have been errors, but Bitcoin blockchain goes on regardless in a decentralized, secure, peer-to-peer fashion. And it does so all the while protecting value now measured in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And all that's going to happen is the value that it protects is just going to increase over time. So Verus builds on Bitcoin, but with cryptographic security as a foundational element of the system, expanding the Bitcoin system beyond payment and into other blockchain primitives such as privacy, finance, identification, data, and interoperability with other decentralized and centralized systems. And Verus includes these elements at the protocol level. Like Bitcoin, Verus uses the UTXO accounting method as opposed to an account-based accounting method. And an important benefit of this is that transactions, for example, DeFi, can be trivially verified in parallel. And the philosophy of this structure is to provide a foundation to build global distributed systems and applications. As part of its philosophy for security as the ground state, Verus has settled on the proof of power mechanism as the foundational security for its network. Although taking over chain that uses Verus proof of power is not impossible, doing so with a 51% attack would require a combined value of over 51% of both the chain's hash power and its coin supply. So proof of power means that it's stakeable and it's mineable. So you need 51% of the state supply and 51% of the mining supply in order to conduct a double spend attack. In addition, Verus has built quantum-ready capabilities, and it remains only to integrate a quantum-secure signature scheme, following which it will be possible to have all of the transactions sent to an address made retroactively quantum-resistant. So even when quantum computing becomes affordable and commonplace, veruscoin will be quantum-resistant. That's already baked into the protocol at foundational level. Now, the robust nature and unstructured simplicity of peer-to-peer decentralized networks makes them excellent candidates for public infrastructure. Bitcoin, you could consider, is now critical public infrastructure for payments and value. Bitcoin resists centralized control. It allows for permissionless use by developers and users. In the case of Bitcoin, this means the ability to store and transact value at will. In Ethereum, it means to deploy programmatic logic and to build and use applications on a shared global virtual machine. In Verus, it means you can use key blockchain primitives like privacy, DeFi, identity, data exchange, interoperability as the foundation for a world of distributed apps that are ubiquitous, always on, and secure, and that can be used in a way that respects user privacy, sovereignty, and control at the most fundamental level. So just like with Bitcoin, I don't need anybody's permission to use it as a secure means of transfer value. And with Ethereum, I don't need anybody's permission to build applications and to program its smart contract code to be able to do certain things. It's permissionless, decentralized, peer-to-peer, and available to anyone. Verus takes this even further. It's been designed to create a naturally decentralized system, including both miners and stakers. Now, apart from being CPU mineable that makes it very decentralized, it's also prioritized easy onboarding and use for new miners and stakers through the Verus desktop wallet. Now, the Verus desktop wallet is really, really easy to use. Really easy to use. It's a multi-currency wallet. It holds all the Komodo asset chains, plus Verus, plus ERC20 tokens, plus Ethereum, plus Bitcoin, and a few others, and I think more are being added. The great thing about Verus, mining and staking with the veruscoin wallet, is it really is simple for technical ignoramuses like myself to just click. Push button, start. Download the wallet, go to an exchange, buy some Verus, send it to the wallet, click on the mining tab, click on staking, job done. Now, in its current state, Verus has an unusually high number of active nodes in proportion to its market cap, which would be expected to grow further as system take-up grows. A recent estimate concluded that it had over 20,000 node addresses. Now, this is a tiny, tiny altcoin that nobody knows about, but already there are over 20,000 nodes mining and staking this coin. And as more and more people discover this coin and what it can do, those nodes are just going to increase. And I think the value of Verus will also increase. Now, the Verus vision is to extend the decentralized network through additional primitives or features, and to make these primitives or features a first-class part of the protocol. And these are necessary to form a reliable foundation for an emerging global distributed network of services. These applications and networks will be built on a basis where security, sovereignty, privacy, and interoperability are wired into the core protocol, not added at a second or third layer. Now, this philosophy is very different from Ethereum and its imitators, which have created very basic blockchain structures, such as the foundation, with languages running on top that create a sequential computer in order to provide a basis for applications, where finance, privacy, sovereignty, data, and interoperability are intended to be provided by arbitrary application developers. So let me give you a couple of examples of this. The Ethereum blockchain is a public blockchain. All the transactions are visible on the blockchain. It doesn't have any privacy features. Now, there are other projects like, I think, the Secret Network and the Keep Foundation that are building a privacy layer on top of Ethereum. But then privacy is coming as an add-on after the fact. That's not the same as being integrated into the blockchain at the core foundational level. Now, let me try and make it a little bit clearer with this metaphor that I hope will prove to be useful quite a few times during this article. If you think of blockchains as railway tracks, we could think of Bitcoin as a wide gauge railway track. And the trains that run on that track are the transactions. Heavy, cumbersome, cargo trains full of wood and steel and metal and great big heavy things, and slow. And then along comes another blockchain which uses narrow gauge. This could be Ethereum with its lighter trains and lower cargo, except more and more cargo is being added to the Ethereum blockchain in the form of different applications. It's like there's things that are being built on the train carriages, and that's slowing it down. And the track underneath the blockchain is almost buckling under the pressure. I could extend this further and say maybe Litecoin is like a monorail system, fast, sleek, like this, right? None of them have any privacy features, and none of them are interoperable. Now consider veruscoin like an adaptable road transport system, but one that's fully heterogeneous. So on this road transport system, you have pedestrians, that kind of transaction. You have cyclists, that kind of transaction. People on scooters, using prams, people using trolley buses, people using trams, buses inside rails like they have in certain cities in Asia, light rail networks. And then you have interchanges where the Bitcoin train connects with the veruscoin road network. And instead of having privacy applications or DeFi applications as add-ons, like if we go back to the railway metaphor, so the other thing on the Ethereum railway is you have add-ons in the form of overhead bridges, in the form of speed signs, in the form of those things in the Western movies that drop water into the steam trains. So you have all these add-on structures that are built onto the railway track, i.e. the blockchain. Well, veruscoin has them integrated into the road network. So it might be like the road markings. They say go this way. They tell you what the speed is. It's all built in, but in a way that allows for interoperability and flexibility. And then it's almost like any applications that get built, they don't have to consider issues of security and privacy because they're already built in. Now, Verus is convinced that blockchain application structures of the type typical of Ethereum and Bitcoin and earlier blockchains are fundamentally difficult to secure and scale. For example, the blockchain doesn't understand the finance on top of it, and so fees can create perverse incentives, thus creating security problems. Simply put, the application layer conflicts with the consensus layer. Now, with Verus, security and scalability can be provided by including key primitives at the consensus level of the protocol. In its current thinking, Verus believes that the following primitives are crucial ingredients for a foundational blockchain system to support the new era of global scale distributed systems. So let's look at some of the issues that veruscoin addresses. So one is payment. Now, this is an essential feature and is included in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, with Verus, the coin with ticker symbol vrsc represents the basic foundational coin of the veruscoin blockchain. Privacy. As a fork of Zcash, shielded transactions in Verus can be fully encrypted on the blockchain, yet still be verified as valid under the network's consensus rules by using zk-SNARK proofs. Now, zk-SNARK is the gold standard of blockchain privacy. Finance. DeFi that is built into the protocol has important advantages over DeFi that is built as an application on a global sequential computer, including security, scalability, and fairness. Now, as important, DeFi must be integrated at the protocol level in order for one decentralized system to make a call to another system, i.e. for an Ethereum user to seamlessly use the Verus DeFi protocols or Vault functionality without having to engage Verus or the Verus wallet directly. This type of interconnection creates a truly global application platform that matches the reality of a multitude of computing environments and languages. Now I'm going to use another metaphor here to explain this. Forget the one that I had earlier about Ethereum being a choo-choo train. If you think of Ethereum as urban terrain, and on this urban terrain, what you've got are applications, and the applications are buildings. So on Ethereum, you've got an Aave building here, you've got a Uniswap building here, you've got a Utrust building here, all these different ERC20 applications are represented by different types of building on the Ethereum terrain. And the only way they can communicate with each other is through nodes in the form of Uniswap or Fork Delta that are decentralized, but nevertheless, they have to converge on this node. You can't go from an Aave application to an SXD application, you've got to go through a node. So if you think of the nodes as hubs, and the same also applies if I bring in other blockchains, if you think of an interchange, if you think of a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange as a blockchain interchange. So you might have a traffic interchange where people get off the bus and then walk onto the train or vice versa. But nevertheless, they have to converge on this node. Consider using this metaphor, which I hope is working, how you can go from one application on the veruscoin blockchain and walk straight into another. So you go from one building, which is DeFi 1, and then you walk out of that building into another building, which is DeFi 2, which could possibly be based on some other blockchain protocol. But because of the interoperability that Verus allows for, it's possible to do that. And what this does, this creates a truly global application platform that matches the reality of a multitude of computing environments and languages. The other issue that veruscoin addresses is identity and agency, the necessity for users to own their own identity, data, social graphs, and reputation. Veruscoin takes this further and implements identity as a blockchain basic feature, thus enabling what Verus believes to be a core requirement for decentralized identities, a path to recover identity if private keys are lost or stolen. Data, large distributed and decentralized systems, for example, the internet, are built on exchange of data. Verus believes that the decentralized internet will consist of heterogeneous systems exchanging data that they can all understand, some centralized, some decentralized. And Verus will enable this through the ability to define and publish data structures at the protocol level, which can then be shared across bridges and gateways. Now here I think my road infrastructure analogy or metaphor works really, really well. Like I said, you've got pedestrians, you've got parents pushing prams, you've got groups of pedestrians, you've got one or two cyclists, some cycling together, you've got people on motorbikes, you've got cars, you've got buses, trolley buses, trams, light railway systems, a railway system running alongside, and then people moving freely in between all of those. Now, this metaphor, I think, serves to illustrate Verus's interoperability at the protocol level. Another issue that Verus addresses is the integrated blockchain creation. The path to virtually unlimited scalability lies in the ability to provision additional interoperable blockchains at will without the necessity to provision additional resources like hardware, wallets, etc. Verus enables this through its PBaaS system, Public Blockchain as a Service system, where any blockchain can be used to provision a new blockchain that is immediately interoperable to every other Verus blockchain, and thereby to the greater blockchain universe, and thus has immediate access to the installed base of Verus miners, stakers, wallets, and apps. These new blockchains inherit Verus's security through a system of notarization into the main Verus blockchain. Now, this allows functionality that securely and permissionlessly goes across systems, whether from one Verus blockchain to another or to other blockchain systems such as Ethereum. Functionality can be triggered from one system to another. And the fundamental idea is that in the real world, we have multitudes of environments and languages, and things connect through data. There is no requirement for a global computer that runs applications using a single language. In fact, that method presents clear scaling challenges and is insecure as value and fees drift to the application layer and are unrecognizable at the protocol layer. Verus lays out the fundamental primitives, and then application systems are built around that, communicating through data. Verus has currently implemented payment, privacy, and identity on its mainnet. DeFi at the protocol level is in operation on testnet. Very exciting. Interoperability and blockchain creation is joining on testnet shortly, with data exchange to follow shortly thereafter. Once these protocols are in place to serve as public infrastructure, Verus expects rapid uptake for users and developers of all kinds to continue building and using the applications of the new era. Now, one of the things that's occurred to me as I'm reading this is one of the issues that Verus is going to address is that of transaction fees. I transacted in some ETH tokens the other day, some ERC20 tokens, cost me $13.55, and it took several minutes, so it wasn't even the highest ETH fee. When what's predictable is more and more applications are run on the Ethereum blockchain, as more and more people come into the blockchain space because of the bull run, as more and more people buy Ethereum to hold it or to stake it or to use it, transaction fees are just going to go higher and higher. And then what you're going to have is a centralization of that asset, that it's not going to be possible for people who don't have the sort of funds to afford the transaction fees to participate in the world of Ethereum DeFi applications. Meanwhile, we have to wait a couple of years for when ETH 2.0 comes out. Or there is veruscoin. Their mainnet is going to be launched sometime in the next few months or so, maybe 1 month, maybe 2 months. They don't have a roadmap. The lead developer, Michael Totongi, has said when it's ready, it will be launched, but it's getting closer. And what I invite you to do is go find out about Verus. Once you found out, maybe go buy some Verus coins and stake it and get regular rewards just for holding it in your wallet. Go join the Telegram group or the Discord group, which is much, much larger, and engage in the conversation. Find out. If you want to get involved, it is a community-based project. Just put yourself forward and offer what you have to offer. Now, please subscribe. Let me know what you think of my metaphors. If you are a VRSC coin holder, send me some VRSC ticker symbols. In the comments below. That, no kidding, it makes such a difference. One, it makes a difference to my mood because then I know I'm not on my own talking to a camera with a light shining in my face. But also, it helps my channel grow and beat YouTube's shadow ban. And then if you are in the veruscoin community and you appreciate the work that I do, then send me a ticker symbol, VRSC, all right? And if you're not involved in veruscoin, you can send me a ticker symbol for anything. Just comment. I would appreciate that. Between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich signing out. All the best. Bye-bye. Keep your crypto safe in an Elipal wallet. Discount link in the description below.